A brutal naval campaign against the British has led us to being awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal for meritorious service that reflects honourably upon the Navy. After our victories near Block Island, the Continental Congress has seen fit to send you a new shipment of firearms, 400 Charleville Sea Service rifles. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with one another, and to assume among the powers of earth the separate and equal station to which laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed with by their Creator with a certain unalienable right, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Very stirring words. We have 2 naval missions, the Challenge and Pain in the Neck. This one looks like a large naval engagement, able to bring 6 ships. Let's have a look at Pain in the Neck. Also 6 ships, but in a scattered formation. You know what? Let's do it. The British base on Block Island continues to disrupt our operation. The 24th of July 1776. Once again, British transports are trying to escape pursuit by reaching the base, and it will take a heroic effort to catch them. Something needs to be done about this base in the near future. Otherwise, we will not be able to stop the supply of British expeditionary forces. We have the opportunity to deploy 6 ships, so I think we're going to go 3rd rate, 4th rate, 2 frigates, and maybe a frigate by themselves. So USS Trident and Redeemer together, Freedom and Fury together, and then Finesse can be on her lonesome coming last. We'll add in a troop transport just for lols. On our second day following the British convoy, 2 sails appeared on the horizon. It seems that we were too eager to continue the chase. It's a trap! It is unlikely the British only sent these 2 ships. 2 small ships. Under other circumstances, we would have to retreat, but we cannot afford to lose the captured British transports, and so we must fight. So they stole those transports from us, and we're going to steal them back. So we'll get Freedom and Fury up on that task. Hit them to full sail. Just over 12.5 knots. With the wind behind us. Trident running at just under 10 knots. Same for Redeemer. So they got a nice even speed. They're not going to hold each other up too much. I really want to get upgrading my ships. We've spent a lot of money on and reputation on technology, but I have a few more key technologies I need before I start the upgrades. And I have a nice plan in mind, what I want to do with my fleet. But you'll have to stick around to find out what. It also does depend on what else we find, but at the moment, we have a very solid line. We haven't had to face anything like this USS Trident since we captured her. The last episode was 3 quick and easy missions. Speaking of quick and easy, HMS Dominion getting brutalized by the first salvo from the Trident's cannon. 3 different cannon weight, but all of them making contact. She's bravely turning towards her foe. Tearing at the rigging there. She's not going to get close. And so my plan for the big ships is to make them long-range firepower warhorses. Fast. Sort of like a battle cruiser from the Age of Sail. That's my plan. They can outrun anything they can't outgun. My plan is to make them be able to outgun everything. Haha. The frigates, I think they'll stay a core of our fleet for a long time. The corvettes had to go. Courageous was good. The Cerberuses were not so good. Dominion's in a lot of trouble. I don't think we will bother capturing her. Is it worth the trouble? Let's see if we can just make her surrender the good old-fashioned way. Yeah, we're literally running rings around her. USS Freedom's catching up to this transport quite easily. Let's split off the Fury to go after Hope. Try not to hurt too many people. Going for the sails, letting them know we're coming. Got a nice angle there for the boarding. Straighten up as we get close. Dominion's managed to come around behind us. So we'll turn all starboard. Go line abreast to finish her off. Gifford has capitulated. Send over a crew. We don't really need to worry too much. Give them a competent crew so they can sail. If we can succeed in getting the captured British ships to the evacuation zone, the British will not be able to catch them. Alright, we'll do that. Running against the wind, though. So it may take some time. And we've got another small squadron coming towards us. We'll send the Freedom out to intercept them. And once Fury's taken care of Hope, she will do the same. Hardly any crew aboard. Redeemer's stopped dead. Just going to bring those heavy carronades around. I mean, they're really just playing with their food at this point. Lots of grape shot. 4 casualties. Long-range grape shot from the Trident. Still managing to kill crew. We'll just pepper her to death. Freedom running hot at HMS Eden. We might have to turn around. Give them some guns. Fury's taking a little bit longer to make the Hope give up. The boarding actions require a lot of micro. You can't just click board and hope it'll work. You have to sort of really guide it in. Hope has surrendered. We'll have to drop a boat. Eden's taken some hits from the Freedom. HMS Ernie is next. This Carter is in trouble. Frigate wants him. The Hope is under our control. We can send her off to evac as well. Send her up to the evac zone. The Trident and Redeemer are clear of their... Yep, Dominion has surrendered. I mean, we'll take her. It's reputation and it's money if I decide to sell it. Alright, we've got the Finesse coming on with the Indiaman, the Minerva. Freedom is just rammed up on Ernie. Or the Urn. Or the Erne, depending on where you're from. And doesn't matter, she surrendered. Just blasting holes through the Eden's rigging. We've got more ships coming onto the map. Let's finish off this cutter and get out of here. Ship's doing a reverse turn. Caught in the wind. Trident, Redeemer, and Dominion. You need to run with the wind, not against it. Got Finesse. Another Yeoman. We captured one of those in one of the last missions. The British like to name their ship the same thing. Just, nope, that wasn't captured. See, it still exists. Still in the register. Alright, let's run everyone up there in a scattered formation. The thunderous crackle of the cannon. And Eden is stopped dead. I don't know what she's doing. The crew are firing muskets at each other. And she surrendered. Whoa, why is she shooting back? Oh, that's not fair. Where are those other ships? Turn you around. Pretty sedate mission. The early missions were kind of edge of your seat stuff. This is just leisurely piracy. Privateering at its finest. Let's send the big boys down. And everyone that's not able to fight is heading straight to evac. Gifford and Hope can form up in a line. And it won't be long until we have contact with the last remaining British ships. One would hope. But they're brave. Do they know what they're about to face? There's that order to dump crew that I gave ages ago. They finally dropped it. Alright. All the prize ships are slowly making their way to the exit. Running at double speed. Let's speed it up even further. Coming at us against the wind. They're asking for trouble. Finesse is on station. She hasn't seen any combat this mission. And we are about to make contact with the second HMS Yeoman. She's fighting the wind, turning across it now. Wind changing slightly to the north. Minerva, we're just getting straight off the battlefield. We don't need her. Let's take the mast of the Yeoman, and then we'll take down Dotterel. Whoops, we're using Grape Shot. That's highly ineffective against the mast. I got pretty tired of just pure boarding action, so this playthrough we're going to experiment with a couple of different ways to disable the fleets. Namely, shooting out their masts. If we have enough firepower, we can do it. There we go, we snapped her in two. And if we're going to run with a fast fleet, doing that as a doctrine only ensures our mobility supremacy. Get some maneuver doctrine happening. With the British campaign, I just used the brute force method, which is law appropriate. We had a lot of men to draw on. We were fighting wars against the entirety of Europe. Dotterel's getting slammed. Fury, Trident, slamming her, and now Redeemer's pulling up alongside. Yeoman has nowhere to go. Despite being on the outside, we can still run rings around her. Redeemer is boarding the Dotterel. looks like things will be wrapped up in short order. Capture the prize ship. Attach her to the formation. It's only a matter of time until these guys go down. Go with a chain shot now, just to see if it's more effective. Using these guys as gunnery guinea pigs. Yeah, the round shot just seems to be much better. Like, if you don't have the weight to snap the mast, then I guess you have to go chain shot. But if you have the weight of fire to snap a mast, then by all means do that. We've lost 6 cannon. So a few critical hits. Mast hits, we've had 10. And blasted down the rigging, and that has made them surrender. So that is definitely a method for disabling a ship. I guess the problem of doing that is you can't then retreat the ship because it's stuck there till the end of the battle. It's not going anywhere. Hopefully once we're aboard, it'll just let us end the mission. Cutler and his men aboard our second HMS Yeoman. And that's the battle. 6th of July 1776, we've put forth every effort to enlarge our fleet, train up officers and drill their crews so we can show the British what we stand for. It seems that today we will finally have the chance to demonstrate our progress to the Royal Navy. A superior force has been chasing one of our ships for several days, and only the heroic efforts of its crew have prevented the ship from being captured. Fortunately, our main force is now in a position to join the battle and turn the tables on the British. We've got 3rd, 4th, and 3 5th rates. The British squadron has been pursuing our ship for several days. John Rathbun is a captain of the ship, and he's a true patriot. The fastest British ships caught up, and everything looks like soon our ship will be stopped and hijacked. The only chance is to move forward despite the enemies surrounding on all sides, in the hopes that it will be possible to get away from the hounds. The main force of the British squadron will not overtake us. Oh dear. So we don't have a fleet yet. We just have to keep the Fly alive. And what have we got in the form of the Fly? 28 gun brig. And she has frigates bearing down on her that want her blood. They are faster. And they're using grape shot. So what are we going to do? We need to try and demast. We practiced that in the last battle. Oh man, we're in some trouble here actually. We've got to survive another half an hour. If I could blast the mast off, we would get away, but I don't think she has the firepower, and they're actually doing a better job of destroying her masts. Where's my... Oh my gosh. We're going to have to do some tricky sailing. We have to go behind her stern. Stay out of her gun sights. Run across the wind. She's obviously way faster than us with the wind. Let's go this way. She'll have to turn around. There's the edge of the map there. Should we try and get to the edge of the map and just retreat her? We have 14 minutes left. Dodging and weaving with the Fly. Being a nuisance. We're going to cut it very close against HMS Dominion. Hopefully we can get under her guns. The bigger ships have minimum ranges to their weapons that you can sneak under. And that looks like it paid off. Pesky Fly. It just won't die. Okay. 3 minutes until our fleet arrives. And I think mostly the Fly is alive. All had to turn around in the chaos and confusion. Fortunately, our fleet patrolled these waters and it looks like the USS Fly now has a chance to survive. A great opportunity to test our strength against the vaunted British naval forces. Attack! Death or freedom. So up until now, apparently, we've only been fighting the expeditionary forces and the local fleet garrisons. We have a proper line of battle. We have the USS Trident, the USS Redeemer, the USS Freedom, Fury and Finesse, our frigate squadron. Flying frigates. Well, they're not flying frigates yet, but they will be. I have plans to upgrade their capability drastically. And they should see us through to the end game. Assuming the game doesn't go all in on ships of the line like it did at the end of the British campaign. But, that's what really happened. Alright, the Fly dodging and weaving still, trying to link up with the new forces that have arrived on the map. HMS Fawn, we've managed to outrun the Dominion, which was the one that really wanted to hurt her before. And the larger ships are getting tangled up amongst themselves, so that was a pretty good maneuver. Another 5th rate frigate, the Dominion. That's why she was so fast. We're running 10 knots, so we're not... Smaller ships aren't necessarily faster. They are just more agile. Okay, our USS Trident, their crew is the best of the best that the Continental Navy has. Oh, we've had a complete 180 shift of the wind, was it? But the Trident's masts nearly snapped from that violent shift in the wind. Now we're going to have to do a reverse turn to port. In a way, that's going to give us great range now, but it really did stop our charge. And Fly can run the length of the line, and she's now safe for all intents and purposes. We'll cut off her retreat to block them. But now that they've seen the Trident, they're all going to want to fight. Look at Naval. I guess this is our really first large fleet engagement. Whoa, massive damage to HMS Fawn, nearly deleting all the planking on the starboard side of the ship. She's turned in. She doesn't want to face another one of those, but she has no choice. We're slowing down so we can feed her another. But the next will go to the HMS Upshot. We want to spread the damage out and reduce the capability of the fleet and let the rest of the line mop up. Again, Upshot, almost deleted. We haven't seen any ammunition explosions yet. The British campaign started off with spectacular magazine detonations. Just lucky RNG. And perfect shot placement. HMS Finch is the next to suffer the Trident's fury. HMS Finch has got much sturdier planking, but she too is taking a brutal battering. Who wants next? HMS Verity is next, and then we have the Endurance, which is hidden on the other side of Verity. She'll be shielded. Endurance, weathering the storm of lead. The next up is the Verity. Oh no, Endurance was in front and Verity was shielded. The shots from USS Trident slamming into Verity, destroying her planking and her pumps. Deleting her. Redeemer hitting Fawn with a brutal shot of carronades. HMS Upshot looks like she's going to sink outright. The crew on HMS Verity is desperately trying to get the pumps working again. Our line is trying to find a tack against the wind, but they've had the wind taken out of their sails, so to speak. Pun intended. The British ships are just in absolute chaos. USS Trident taking names. Dominion can only watch. They're trying to sort out the formation, but the damage control teams are furiously trying to get the pumps patch up the holes. Redeemer's coming through on the other side in the opposite direction. She's going to feed them some carronades. We're focusing on endurance. HMS Finch taking some of the stern carronade fire from USS Redeemer. And our frigates haven't even entered the fight yet. That just goes to show, like, the rating system, there is scale. 4th to 5th rates is a big jump. And so then a 3rd rate is even bigger of a difference. We're holding fire so we don't inadvertently damage Redeemer. But once she's clear of the arc, we're going to hold open fire again. Who wants the next one? HMS Endurance is coming in really hot. She's going to take a full broadside through the bow. Her gun ports are underwater. Same with Redeemer. The ocean is the sea state's quite high. Seems to be affecting our gun ports. Let's turn the Trident through and try and break their line up, and let's get some chaos back into the mix. The frigates are finally getting to open fire, but they're really just feeding on carrion at this point. HMS Fawn is just desperately trying to get out of the weather. HMS Upshot, similarly flooding. The Trident's coming across the wind. She's going to try and block the Dominion. So I'm not too concerned about the smaller ships. We'll attempt to capture the frigates. They're worth a lot more reputation. But mostly, I think the smaller ships are now just going to be cannon food. I really do want to experiment with different types of cannon soon as well. So, capturing the frigates is a must. We can add them to our fleet and then sell them for cash as well, which, when you have too much reputation, you just balance it that way. USS Trident about to split through, block Dominion's path. Fury's doing the same to HMS Finch, and Freedom the same to Endurance. We've got a simultaneous action going on. This is working out quite nicely. Still holding fire. Don't want to shoot into the Trident with our carronades. Trident is now boarding the Dominion. We have a 2-to-1 man advantage and they're already wavering, so this will be an easy fight. Freedom stopped dead. She turned too hard against the wind. USS Fury and Finesse double teaming the Finch. Fury's angling for a boarding action. This Dominion has surrendered. We've got sailors desperately rowing for Dominion. Let's get some on board quickly before they man her again. We're not connected by ropes anymore. Quick, get in the boat. If those guys make it there, they'll take over it again. Uh-oh. There we go. Haha. Too late. Now they're going to have to sail to one of their other... row to one of the friendly ships in a raging battle in a tempestuous storm. Okay, we're wrapping up. Endurance is the next target. We're still holding fire on the portside guns. Open up now. Switching to grape shot. Freedom is boarding. Dominion is ours. Fury is boarding. Everyone's boarding. Redeemer is about to board. Minimum crew. We've had surrenders all over the place. Alright, so that's mission complete. We've captured all the frigates. And I believe anyone else that wasn't captured sunk. Just have to silence Endurance. She's stopped dead. She's trying to break the lines. We're running too fast. Stop the boat. Turning the ship to try and break. But the lines have torn. It's going to take a little bit longer now. Pretty proud that we pulled off 3 boarding actions simultaneously, but the 4th one wasn't able quite to get there. Maybe she'll surrender. Got the boats full of survivors rowing towards their last British ship. Our bottom gun ports are underwater. We can't use them. Got no clear line of sight. This storm is really affecting their gunnery. A tangle of ships here. Just put them all in formation. Hope they sort themselves out. They're about to get more troop reinforcements, so I think that will make their morale spike. I guess we could just stay here and shoot them. They're not trying to escape. Well, Trident's going to come over and help soften up the Endurance. She's definitely living up to her name. Just unfortunate that I missed the boarding action, because it would have been over very quickly. Now she's had her crew topped up. That'll be more efficient at damage control. Oh, we've had another drastic change of the wind. This storm is really messing with things. We've thrown the lines, finally. Got to get the speed right. Yep, and we're boarding. So that wind change helped a little bit. It helped us reposition. We've had a wounded officer. And HMS Endurance is silenced. Welcome to the Continental Navy. Finch, Verity, Endurance, all new prize ships. Well done. Another simple mission because we have the 3rd rate. So it seems that our need has shifted from reputation to money. Sending away the new frigates, the Finch as well, send them off. Actually, I will add one to our roster. We have 3 of those frigates. Freedom, Fury, Finesse. And the Finch, I will add. Send off the armed sloop. Add the Finch. But this one, we're going to strip it for its cannon. And then sell it. So we will make money off the cannon. And we will make money off the sale of the ship. Or I could put the cannon on a future ship. So I'll keep that in my stockpile for now. Or if we desperately need money, we'll sell them then. At some point, our costs will increase a lot. And we may go into a new turn with no money. So that gives you a bank sort of thing. You can sell your weapons just to get some money to spend for that chapter. We've got the lightest gun carriages. We'll go with the final level of the British weapon supply. We'll get Ferguson rifles and Baker rifles. I'm going to make ship upgrades cheaper, as upgrading the ships will be the next task. We'll try and fine-tune our ships to fight the way we want them to fight. If you're liking the series, make sure to hit the like button. We have a lot more to go. The year is only 1776. I think there's 4 or 5 years left in this war. I'm Commander Tyrael. See you then.